Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 6.
We begin tonight with breaking news. Thanks for joining us this evening. Mike has the night off. The Minnesota State Patrol is asking for your help in locating the driver of a semi following the deadly crash near Dalton yesterday that killed 2 teens, injured another, all from Park Christian School, and injured another teen from Mississippi. Now, the Dodge pickup that the teens were driving rolled on the median of eastbound I-94 near Dalton, Minnesota. A surviving passenger in the pickup telling investigators the semi-truck was extremely close to the pickup at the time of the crash. Now, the semi-truck is described as a white box top, and that's the trailer with a green or a red tractor. Anyone who witnessed the crash or may have any information is asked to call the Minnesota State Patrol.
A good young man unknowingly opened his door to a monster.
The man accused of murdering 2 people in North Fargo is being held in jail and denied bond by the judge. Ashley Hunter made his first court appearance today. The victims are 24-year-old Sam Traut and 45-year-old Clarence Flowers. Investigators say that Traut died from getting hit by a hammer several times. Investigators also say it appears the suspect tried to set several fires throughout Traut's home. An autopsy of Flowers shows he was stabbed more than 50 times. While police were searching for Hunter yesterday, they say he approached officers saying that he was the guy they're looking for. Court documents say Hunter admitted to being responsible for both victims' deaths. Hunter said he was upset with Flowers for stealing all his girlfriends, overcharging him for drugs, and always showing some disrespect. 3 charges were filed against Hunter this morning, and he faces 2 charges of murder, 1 of arson. Now, police say that Hunter didn't know the second man that he is accused of murdering. Sam Traut, a former NDSU student, was living in a home on 12th Street North. It was owned by the Catholic Diocese and managed by St. Paul's Newman Center. Police believe that Hunter went into that house because he was high on meth. Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Nicole Johnson joins us live with more on Traut, a 24-year-old that police say is an innocent victim. Nicole?
Typically, there's Mass going on right now at St. Paul's Newman Center, but tonight there's a special service remembering the life of Samuel Traut. Family, friends, and those who knew him well are here where he spent much of his time.
He just would want us to be happy because we know, as with our faith, that he won the race. He just skipped right on up to heaven.
A good young man unknowingly opened his door to a monster. That's what police are saying about Samuel Traut, or Sam, as his friends call him.
Before the police report or anything came out, I was like, man, I bet he just wanted to help that guy so bad. And he just, to the very end, he just wanted to help that guy to just to love him.
I just feel like we've just been hit by a train and are just trying to make sense out of how could something like this happen in our community? How could such a random, senseless, tremendously horrific act of violence and murder be committed against such a virtuous, just, and kind man?
An NDSU engineering graduate, a teacher, a missionary.
It's going to be really missed.
And to many, the very best friend.
Especially pray for just peace in Fargo. I think we all just need to love each other more. Things like this wouldn't happen if everyone just accepted more joy and more love into their hearts. So that's what we want. That's what we want to come out of this. Just everyone needs to be more joyful and find the goodness in life.
Traut is originally from Sartell, Minnesota, the same hometown as Tommy Bierson, the NDSU student who was murdered last fall. Police say right now it doesn't look like there's any link between the 2 murders. Moorhead police say Bierson's case is still a top priority. Reporting in Fargo, Nicole Johnson, Valley News Live.
Nicole, thank you. There have been 3 murders in Fargo this year. Police Chief David Todd says that many is unusual for the area. However, he says he's not ready to say that Fargo is changing for the worse, stressing that crime rates are still low for a city this size. Well, to our weather out there, as you can see, it has changed a lot. It was beautiful and warm, and now There is a lot of clouds and it is raining. Let's go to Lisa Green with the latest. So Lisa, things changed pretty quickly.
That's right. Thunderstorms pushing into the FM metro area tonight, Stephanie, and they are numerous across the valley. We have a lot of strong storms in the region. The good news is we don't have any warnings in effect at the moment, but they are still strong. We have a picture on our Facebook page from when it was a storm in Trail County was severe, knocked over a tree in rural Trail County, and reports of up to about half-inch diameter hail. Looking in on the Fargo-Moorhead area, there are lightning strikes happening. We did hear a rumble of thunder here at the studio with that rain ongoing in the metro, and stronger up into northwest Clay County. Norman County also seeing a good storm on the eastern side. Southern parts of Polk County and now pushing it toward the Bagley area too. Some stronger storms there. And farther down to the south in Ransom County, northeast of Lisbon, a couple of storms in your area as well. Some of these could be producing some 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts and may get briefly stronger than that as well. And in addition to that, some hail as they move through this evening. When I return, I'll let you know when things will start to quiet down and what we can expect for the rest of our week in just a few minutes.
All right, Lisa, thank you. Well, it was quite a scene in South Fargo today. A car drove into the entrance of Schmidts Gems and Fine Jewelry earlier this afternoon. The doors smashed in and the brick entrance around it is also damaged. The building is 3011 25th Street South. It houses Schmidts Gems and Fine Jewelry and Birch Travel. There's no word yet on how the accident happened, but police are saying that nobody was injured here. Downtown has become one of the hottest development spots in Grand Forks. Developers are now clamoring for more space as more and more business owners and housing developers decide that it's the place to be. Valley News Team's Neil Carlson shows us what's happening.
Following the flood of 1997, there were all kinds of empty buildings in downtown Grand Forks. But today, more and more people are looking for space downtown to open shops or build housing.
For the most part, you're going to have a hard time finding spaces for lease in the downtown.
Okay.
It's getting much tighter market.
But you have people coming in that want to do housing or retail and this and that?
Yep. We have a lot of people interested in both.
How are you doing? Entrepreneurs are already holding regular meetings to discuss new businesses and startups at an event called 1 Million Cups.
It's really an opportunity for entrepreneurs in the community to get together to hear about new ideas that are going on. The reason it's called 1 Million Cups is every time an entrepreneur or somebody has a cup of coffee and they talk about a new idea they want in the community, the idea gets a little bit further along.
And the Downtown Development Association is committed to improving the look of downtown and promoting events to make it the destination.
Really exciting to see the want to be in the downtown community. You know, I think there's a really great feel here. We feel like a family, and I think people are really attracted to that.
In fact, planners are already looking at expanding downtown by absorbing some of the fringe areas that now surround it.
Start running out of some of those areas, then you start, downtown fringe area starts being looked at.
Big changes keep rolling into what's become the hottest spot in town, downtown. In Grand Forks, Neil Carlson, Valley News Live.
And this weekend, Blues on the Red begins its first concert of the summer, 6 p.m. Saturday in the town square in downtown Grand Forks. Well, a Grand Forks woman wants people to be aware of pet scams. She recently found a cat that she wanted to adopt, and it was online. Don Bergquist says the scammer told her that he was from Sheldon, North Dakota, but currently staying in Louisiana, and was going to give her the cat, but she just had to pay $500 for shipping. Eventually, the scammer was asking for an additional $750 for a crate needing to ship it, but the cat never came. Bergquist said she never heard of a pet scam and was already attached to the little kitten.
Because I really want that kitten. You know, I wanted her that bad. I was already like emotionally attached because she was so cute, and I'd already pictured her in the house. She's here in my mind, you know, so.
The Better Business Bureau says that pet scams are becoming common and remind everyone to beware of them. We have much more advice on how to detect an online scam on valleynewslive.com. Click on this story. Now, coming up tonight on Valley News Live, 10 at 10. We talk a lot about bad landlords in the Valley, but what about this? Bad tenants. Take a look at this apartment. Valley News Team's Bradford Eric is going to bring you the story of a tenant absolutely destroying her apartment. What landlords say that they can actually do about this situation. Well, later at 6 o'clock, the new Sanford Medical Center is making some progress. And today, we take a look inside.
And that rain really coming down in the metro area right now. You can see those raindrops on our tower cam. And we have more storms on the way this evening. We'll be talking about that in just a few moments.